another reading lesson with Miss Meadows. I am so excited to be reading and learning with you today, and I hope you are excited as well. We are going to be starting today with our anchor chart. So if you could please repeat after me, say elements of poetry. I'm sorry, what was that? Could you say that a little louder? I'm hearing something else. There's something else that's making noise, and I can't really hear you. Could you just say it a little louder, please? Very good, elements of poetry. I like it. So when we are talking about poetry, there are a couple of different things that we need to have in order to make it poetry. For example, it needs to have rhythm. That means the words in a poem have a beat when you read them, like music. So, if I was going to teach you with rhythm, I would talk like this. And when we read poetry, we kind of talk like this. Because it has a beat. It's kind of just like music. Does that make sense? We talk with a beat. We talk with a rhythm. It also has a rhyme, which means words end with the same sound or sounds. For example, can you read these words to me? Cat, sat, and mat. Those words all rhyme. They rhyme. And then it also has describing words. So we are looking for words that tell how things look, sound, feel, smell, and taste. We are looking for describing words that make us kind of think of those things. Words that are going to describe how something looks, how something sounds, how something feels, how something smells, and how something tastes. So, let's get right on into this. We are going to jump right over to my book, which you will be needing today. Our genre, once again, is poetry. Poetry uses images, sounds, and rhythm to express ideas and feelings. We're going to look for groups of lines called stanzas. So I'll show you what stanzas look like when we open our books and read them. We're going to be looking for rhyme or words whose endings sound alike. We're going to be looking for rhythm or patterns of beats from the words, and we're going to be looking for words that make us think of pictures. Our purpose for reading today, as we read, we're going to listen for the rhyming words and the rhythm or the beat that the words make, use describing words and other details to help us understand the poems. So our poem today is called, drumroll please, Patriotic Poems. Patriotic poems means these are going to be poems about America. And it is illustrated by Amanda Lima. Notice we don't have an author. That's because individual poems have different authors. So it's not like one person wrote this whole story, different authors for different poems. So please take a second. If you haven't found this page in your My Book, open up your My Book to this page. If you need to give my video a pause, go ahead and pause it so that you can find that page. But I'm going to assume you are good to go, and I'm going to carry on. So here we go. Turn your page with me. Our first poem, put myself down here. Hello. Our first poem is called Yankee Doodle. Can you say Yankee Doodle? Very good. And this poem goes like this. Yankee Doodle came to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. That's a traditional song. You noticed I read it with a beat or a rhythm, and that's because this is a song. And if you know this song, let's see if you can sing it with me. Here we go. Yankee Doodle came to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Very good. So that poem has a beat to it. And we know that beat because we know that song. That's a song that we know. And we have a rhyming word, too. What words rhyme? Can you tell me? I'm going to give you a second to think about it. What two words rhyme? Pony and macaroni. Those have the same endings. So we know that it's a poem because it's got rhythm. And it's got rhymes. And it's got words that make us picture things. Stuck a feather in his hat. Now we know what he looks like. And we've got pictures here that help us see that too. Our next poem is called Labor Day. It's by Marcy Ridlon. Follow along with me. First Monday in September, that's when we remember. September and remember, those rhyme. To honor workers who toil long, their efforts make our country strong. We give a gift they all like best. We give them all a day of rest. This one had so much rhyme in it. I kind of told you about the September remember rhyme, because those both end in ember. But I have two other rhyming words in there. Can you tell me what they are? If you said long and strong, or if you said best and rest, you are right. Those are rhymes. So when we read that, it had a little bit of a beat too. It also had rhyme at the end of each line, and it had describing words in it that helped describe to us what we were learning about. When we talk about a poem, this part here, this group of words all together, is what we call a stanza too. Go ahead, turn your page. We're now going to be relocating Miss Meadows to over here. And this poem is called A Day for Martin Luther King Jr. by Kate Arnold. This shows us a little bit better what the stanzas look like. This right here, this chunk is a stanza. This is a stanza. This is a stanza. And this is a stanza. And before we get started, I see this word here. What does this word say? Ring. And what does this word say? King. Very good. Those two words rhyme because they both end in ing. Does this word say? Tall. And this one says all. Those words rhyme. They both end in all. And then here we have be and free. Those words rhyme. They both end in e. And here we have sing and ring. Those rhyme. So we have a pattern where that rhyming word is coming at the end of each line in a stanza. So follow along and read with me. We hear the words, let freedom ring, and think of Martin Luther King. A man of honor standing tall, dreamed of equity for all. He saw a world where there could be all people living proud and free. Today we celebrate and sing, so here and now let freedom ring. That had a beat. If you heard, I was saying, we hear the words, let freedom ring, and think of Martin Luther King. A man of, and it has a nice beat that we follow, and it's got that rhyme, and it describes him to us. Turn your page. And our last one is called Celebration by Christine O'Connor George. By looking at the picture, I think it might be about nature. Let's read it. Wait here a minute. I'll bring your gifts, ribbons for your branches, buckets of water, and a wheelbarrow of mulch. Happy Arbor Day. So Arbor Day is a day where we celebrate, we kind of honor trees and nature and making sure that we can do our best to help nature grow. And so this is a poem that describes for us different things that trees need. This one doesn't have a lot of rhythm and it doesn't have rhyming words either, but that's okay because sometimes not all poetry has to fit an exact certain mold. So that this time it's just a little bit different. There's not rhyme or rhythm on this one. But that is the end. What I would like you to do is I would like you to go unlock your gem board. You could either draw a picture of your favorite poem, or you could draw a picture of something you learned, and you can work on earning those gems for your board. I had so much fun with you. Be creative in how you express how the poems made you feel and what you enjoyed from them. And I will be seeing you for some more reading tomorrow. Bye, friends!